Hey everybody, welcome to the Risky Rollers podcast. I'm Locky and it's not Dalton because Dalton is a bit sickies today. So it's me. And also it's Laurence.
What's up, guys?
It's just us two. We're just lone rangering it tonight. Talking about a few little tasty things. So we're going to be covering some Eldar stuff. Well, more specifically, some Harlequin stuff, which
Yes.
is pretty spicy. We're going to be covering a little bit of Tau. Nothing major. Our Codex reviews on these books will be coming soon, as I'm sure you guys are well aware if you have been privy to our latest bat reps and stuff. The studio has been hit with a little bit of COVID sickness and other bits and pieces, so that's just put a little bit of a hamper on some things. But alas, we're going to try and give you at least some thoughts and impressions that we have on bits and pieces. And then finally, we'll probably round out tonight or today, with some rumor stuff to do with the Nids book that's coming out, and then just anything that's
Mm.
in between. So yeah, I mean, big thanks as always to Dice Arcade for being the sponsor of Risky Rollers, as well as Galen over at the Trade Tinker. Be sure to check out all the links in the descriptions for all these beautiful people that help support and grow our channel. On top of that, big thanks to everyone who is our Patreon member. You guys help so much. There's a lot going on there, as well as our Discord. Our Discord grows daily, and it's getting quite insane, and it's quite good. We have a big mixture of new people and returning people and people who know the game and people who don't know the game. We actually, I don't know, Lawrence, if you saw this, but we actually have someone who's jumped on, doesn't even know what 40k was or is or what Warhammer is. Like, what's Warhammer? It's like, how did you find this? So that's pretty cool.
Crazy. But of course, it's nice.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, first things first, I guess, as Dalton always does, because I'm learning the ropes of on his intro stuff. What have you
hmm
been What have you been working on, mate?
I just finished one baby night for the channel, and then
Oh,
I'll still continue the other one, and that's it. This week was a bit like I don't know. I was just swamped up with work, so I said today I wanted to finish something, so I took the model, and then yeah, I finished one in 1 hour.
no, and that's a Moirax, isn't it?
Yes, this is the baby Morax for the Chaos Knights.
Actually, this might be something that we can talk about too later. I
Yes.
might pick your brain on what you reckon with everything. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll pose the question to you later.
Otherwise, I just would also love to talk about knights because knights my favorite army.
That's it. So we'll just do a bit of that as well. Why not?
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been modeling at all. I haven't touched a paintbrush in like nearly 4 weeks
hmm
since
Are you busy with work?
masters.
Is it?
What was that?
Are you busy with work?
Yeah, work, but also like it's just I don't know. I just kind of hit a little bit of a
Burn.
uh, yeah, a little bit of a rut. Like not super
Mhm.
inspired with painting at the moment, which is unfortunate. And it's just starting to pile up really. So, but I've been playing heaps. Been playing a lot and playing pretty well. Slowly climbing that rank ladder
Yeah.
in our. For those of you who don't know, we run I guess like an internal Risky Rollers league as part of our Discord. So anyone who plays games, in real life with each other or on TTS in all our myriad groups within the Discord or part of tournaments or whatever, if you wish it to, normally we log it. So we have like an internal ranking of how many players are part of that now?
Give me a second, bro. It's not open, but I believe it's at least 12 or 13.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. So it's one of those things where we're adopting the ELO like chess standard structure of basically everyone starting at 1,000 points and plus or minusing based on your wins and your losses and who you verse, etc., etc. So I hadn't played a lot of games and everyone was playing and everyone was exceeding me. So now I'm slowly climbing. So
Yes, I think you're. Yeah, sorry, we are 17 strong already, bro. I just checked. We are
oh,
17.
17. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And then and you've been I guess relearning AdMech, right? A
Yeah,
little bit.
I'm on the top four, but at the bottom. No, no, I would try my best, of course, because I think so far out of all my games, it's like against you, and then these are two from Tyranids, and yeah, I think I got two losses from Tyranids and one from the Chaos Space Marine of Dalton, which I played very poorly. But yeah, just keep learning again, and then hopefully I would have some 1,000 EL points.
Yeah, I mean, look, from a person who watches, other people play AdMech, like you specifically a lot. It's a hard army to play. They have, and this is not necessarily a topic we're going to talk about, but everyone's sort of boo-hooing AdMech, but the more we play and the more I see you play with them, they have an answer for everything, and I think that the floor to learn them is quite high.
Yes.
But they have an answer for like every situation, and I think that's why their strength is. Like they're just, yeah, they got hit hard. They probably got hit a bit too hard in relation to where they were, but they were pretty busted as well.
Yeah, and then of course now it's also like the stage wherein you have a lot of new codexes that came out, and then of course the power creep is real. So of course a lot of new like flavor of the month is out there. So yeah, I think that's the name of the game. Whatever is the army that came out, the later one, they should really be the strongest army.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you look at like the Tau setup, right? Like a lot of Tau powers, infantries, in the fact that that they're getting to neg 1 and neg 2 with a lot of firepower with like strength 5 and whatever. But
Yep.
in terms of what is the most successful kind of Tau lists now aren't just the big bad, as though it seems heavy with all the storm surges and hammerheads and all those things that are ignoring invos and whatever. But that's not really the power of Tau. Power of Tau is more board control and forward
Mm.
push and kind of like how it should be, right? Where we've Tau first had this sort of hit and run play style, that kind of fast militia style. Um, and AdMech has a game into that really well, So as you say, I think as more and more of these books, especially with when CSM and Nids come out for sure, probably rocking a little bit more infantry heavy stuff, less vehicles. The
Mm.
the durability and power and utility and synergies that AdMech has with its combinations of pretty well supported infantry, it will shift and I reckon bring them back in the foreground for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So Eldar just got released.
Yeah, something spicy
F-
that also would, like really be out there to be competitive with this Tau and Custodes. So hopefully they would, really be out there in the next couple of months. We would see.
yeah, so I mean, for anyone who has been living under a rock for a while, that Tau and Custodes obviously were the two latest books prior to the Eldar, and they kind of did create a wave. I think
Mm.
Tau definitely did a bit more shaking up than Custodes. I think it was weird because I don't think people expected Custodes at face value. I mean, I looked at that book and I was like, this doesn't seem that strong. And then
Mm.
you look at it in reality, and then you're like, oh wow, okay, this can be tough. Like to just double, and it is. It's just a durability army, right?
Yes. Yes.
And weird janky stuff. And I think that kind of caught people unawares a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the people who knew the army were like, "Oh, this is awesome," knew from the beginning. But I think for the most people, were like, "Oh, wow!" And it was kind of a slow burn, as opposed to Tau coming out and just being like, "Bang on power." Which
Mm.
look, if you weren't expecting that from the Tau book in general, that's on you.
Yes.
But on the Eldar side, like reading the book a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
playing against it. Well, I played against Harleys, and I'm just going to say that I think Eldar is I think I even said it on a previous podcast that mark my words, Eldar was going to be broken,
Mm-hmm.
and surprisingly, it's not.
Yeah, I don't think they are broken.
Sorry, this is Craftwords I'm referring to here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yes, yes,
Craftworld
yes.
Eldar, not broken.
Mm. I
Which
don't
sorry, go on.
I don't think they are. I think, of course, there are still so many things that, we have to digest. And then, of course, people would come up with, different cool combination. And then until such time, we will really find out. But so far, I believe based on, like the bat traps that I saw, I don't think that they are broken. So I think it's just good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Strands of Fate ability, and which is the pseudo miracle dice, and then the battle
Mm,
focus ability to be able to move again, getting a kind of a baby fire and fade ability.
mm.
They I think they're going to follow a similar vein of AdMech, literally what we were talking about before. Of it will have a ceiling to. I think there's definite huge power in it.
Yep.
How it's used is going to be where the skill set sort of lies. I think that the players that can understand it and leverage it quite well within their list building are going to be able to take mass advantage of it and just be because movement is so key to the game, right?
Yes.
It's like one of the
Yes.
fundamental principles of ninth edition 40k. So um, there's an element there, but it's not, and this is a good thing, right? Because it's not just oh this is just super powerful off the bat, and this is just is what it is. Kind of like it's not a point and click army that like AdMech was when it was released, or even Drakari was when it was
Yes.
released, right?
Sure.
Um, so those are good signs. And I'm because have been publicly said to not like Eldar very much. I'm very happy with that. I think it's great that they're not busted.
Yeah, I don't like Eldar also, but I like one race of Eldari.
Yes, and I agree, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about now a little bit more.
Yes.
So you've stepped into the Harlequin masked world now, haven't you?
Yes.
Again, I would say because you used to
Yes.
have an army of Harlequins that I told you not to sell. I told you, I said, don't do it because the book will come out and you'll be like, no, 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 it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did just say you just buy them again, but
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's silly of me. Of course, like we were expecting, like every army that would come out would really be strong. But of course, that particular time, yeah, I just, like needed some, like money, so I sold them. And then because they are actually they, like all the arms, they are not magnetized, so they are kitted into something that like I really, like not super excited. So I said, okay, if the codex would be good, then I would just go and buy again, which I believe they are good. So I've already ordered some of my some of the armies. So I'm just looking forward to just building them quick and then be able to play them.
yeah, because I mean, realistically, you bought them at the beginning of ninth when they
Yes.
were coming off their psychic awakening stuff and whatever, and they were really strong. Like
Yes.
the transition from eighth into ninth, they were top tier for a while, or
Yes.
even like portions of it with other stuff was kind of even towards the end of recently. People were taking patrols of them to do certain things,
Yeah.
um, but now that you can take them standalone again within the whole Eldari book, like what about it do you like? Like what sings out to you? Goes okay, these guys are strong again.
Okay, first and foremost, sir, I always like an army which have really, like very low model count or maybe low unit count, which they are, right? And then
Yep.
I'm always used into playing knights, so you only have what? How many models they have? Maybe like of course, Custodes knights they have different classes, sorry, different models, but it's only one Custodes class. There's only one armature class, and then of course your Cerastus one, which of course you normally don't use. Normally you would only have Mageras and then of course all baby knights. So normally you're only using two units. And then of course like Harlequins, they're also very elite. You only have one troop, which are troops. And then of course several HQs that you can use, Shadow Seal, Troop Master. Your elites would be the Death Jester and the Solitaire. Then your fast attack would be your Sky Weavers, and then you have one heavy support, which is the Voidweaver, which is also actually your transport that can be converted into Star Weaver. So all in all, what, 7 or 8 data sheets? So
Yeah.
it's actually very easy to collect. And then as I've said, they are an elite. So and you said like the game is really bound into like how much you can move, the movement, and oh my gosh, like this, they are so fast. They can
Yeah.
move anywhere, like
It is
unbelievable.
bonkers.
Yeah,
It is bonkers how fast Harlequins are. Um, it's putting. I think it even puts Drakari to. It actually the bikes, the Skyweavers,
Kyber,
even
yes,
they just put even Raiders to shame. Like it's just
they're
it's
crazy.
it's so hectic.
And also
So
one thing to point out, bro, right? some of the armies, even like the elders, right? They have different, like what do you call this one? Like chapter, what do you call this one? Those
Like a
sub
chapter
factions.
tactic.
Yeah, sub factions, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now for Harlequins, they before they have six mass. Now they changed it to just Sedath. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm pronouncing it Sedath. So there are only three, right? Some armies, aside from their sub faction, you also have the custom whatever. Like for Admech, you have custom force rule. So you would really have to think, okay, which army is good that I can try. But this particular army, Harlequins, you only have three to choose. So of course,
Yeah.
like which is very easy. Okay, I try one Sedat first. If my playstyle is like like liking this particular sedat, then yeah, I would continue to master it, and that's it. But if not, then at least you only have two other choice that you can master. So yeah, it's very easy to choose, and then of course, yeah, just like very less choice, but at the same time, of course, they have very powerful abilities, and of course some stratagems that you can use.
So just quickly, what can you just tell everyone so the current masks are light, neutral, and dark, right?
Okay,
So
so now
they're
they
the
are
three
called,
setups.
yeah, they
Yeah.
are called sedats, bro. So there are three sedats which are light, dark, and twilight. So actually, it's just a reincarnation of their previous forms, which are the mass forms. So
Yeah.
one sedat is just like a combination of two mass before. But I think before I go to the sedat, maybe I should just like give you a preview first on what's like the whole. If you would be running a pure Harley Quinn's army,
Yeah. The army wide
yeah,
ability. Yeah.
the army wide ability.
The mono faction bonus.
Yes, give me a second because, like, like the only complaint that I would want to have with this Eldari Codex, although of course I want to have my Harlequins to have my own codex, but never mind, at least it's already out there. You know, those different rules are just all over it. Like it's mixed with the Eldar, mixed with the Inari, so you just really have to flip pages until you find whatever you're looking for.
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
The organization of the book is busted. Is what you're
Yes.
saying. Yeah.
Because I think some of the stratagems, right, it can be used by, like just the Eldari, the
Eldari. Yeah.
Harlequins, and even the Inari. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think this is a common gripe. I've seen a lot of other people go, yeah, it's similar thing. Like the stratagem should have been grouped as all the Eldari stratagems are on one
Yes,
page, and all the Harlequin stratagems are here, then all the Inari stratagems are here, rather than just like everything mixed together. Having to chop and change the army wide rules are here. Why not just put all the army wide rules? Here's the Eldari army wide rules. Here's the Harlequin army rules. Here's the Inari. Like, if they had an editor working at Games Workshop, they probably would have done that. But
I think so. But yeah, okay, enough of our gripes. But yeah, so first and foremost, bro, if you have a troop master in your army, he must be the warlord. That's the
yep,
rule. You cannot give, because some, I think before, Shadow Seer was the warlord. But if you would be running a troop master, then it needs to be your warlord. Then
yep,
second, army all across the board, they have 4+ invuln save, which is
so
very
strong.
nice, right?
Yep,
And
yep,
then, yeah, they still kept the same ability as before. So each time the unit makes a normal move, advances, fall back, or make a charge move, until that move is finished, the models in this unit can move horizontally. So this is their flip belt. So meaning
flip
to say
out. Yeah,
they ignore the
ignore
terrains
terrain. Yeah,
or even the like the enemy models, as long as of course you would not be ending your movement at the like what do you call this one, within the engagement range of the enemy.
yep,
And then across the board as well, bro. Any attack made in melee, you must subtract one from the attack's hit roll. So it's also very good. -1 to hit army wide ability,
yeah. I
right?
mean, look, even the movement thing aside, neg one to hit in combat and 4-up invo, like people pay a premium to put that on one unit, and that's
Yes.
just
And then
everywhere.
of course, I mean their normal ability as before, they can advance and charge, fall back and shoot and charge. So they kept that ability as well as from their previous codex. So yeah, this army is like very elite. Like you just push forward and then you can fall back and then do that again, charge, shoot again. So yeah, some of the things that they have lost, of course, we can talk about later. But yeah, Now, so going to the sedats, as I've said, they have three sedats. So, namely light, dark, and twilight. So, first reading, I think I'm liking the light sedat because this one, right? If your sedat is light, so each time a range attack is made against your units, if that enemy attacking is at least 12 inches away,
Hmm.
so any hit rolls of one, two, or three fails. So they are just like, what do you call this one? The
Transhuman.
transhuman, but not in wounds, but in hit rolls. Yes.
Yep.
And then each time your unit with light sedats make a normal, advance, move in your shooting phase, that unit count as having remained stationary. So, meaning to say, you still can shoot your pistols, you still can shoot your heavy or assault weapons. So, um, unfortunately, right before, I think there are some particular play wherein you would load your boat with those fusion pistols. Now it's gone. You are only allowed to have two because, of course, in a boat there's only six maximum capacity. So if you put in six troops there, you can only have, of course, six fusion pistols. But now you cannot do that. Maximum of only two. If 10 or more, sorry, 10 or less, you are only allowed to have two fusion pistols. And then if you are 11 or more, then you can have four. But I think they would just load the what do you call this one? If you would be putting some troops in the Star Weaver, then most likely you would just collect all the whatever weapons that you can have. Normally you would put in two fusion pistols, two neuro disruptors, and then just different melee weapons because all the stats are the same. Later on, I would go also with that particular uh, weapons of the troops. Yeah. So light, right? It's very good because you're very fast moving. So initially, you would always, of course, be on your deployment zone, and then anything first round, your enemy would be shooting at you. They can only hit you at four, and then some of the units of the Harlequins are also like -1 to hit. So say your Tau, your ballistic skill is four, then you can only hit them on five if you're shooting on the Voidweavers or the Star Weavers.
Which
And then,
is punishing for armies like Tau and Guard. Even
yes,
Nids as well. Nids have that as well. A lot. I mean, the current book, a lot of it's 4 ups. I mean, there's mitigation in that, but yeah,
yes. And then
it's annoying.
wait until we go to their data sheet because some of the units also don't allow you to do any rerolls. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
okay, so if you're also having a warlord trait for the light, they are called the player of the light. So this warlord can perform heroic intervention within six, and then each time the warlord fights, if made a charge, perform a heroic intervention, then you can add +1 strength and +1 attack. So I think it's okay because I think 6 inches they already move a lot, but heroic intervention of six, that's very good as well. So and also if you get the relic shadow stone, sorry, this one it can only be used by a shadow seer. So add 3 inches to the range of the aura abilities to a maximum of nine, and then each time the bearer successfully manifests a psychic power, add three to the range of the psychic power effect. So normally, right, I think the psychic ranges are from 18 to 24. So if you successfully cast that particular psychic ability, then add three to the range. So I don't think we should be. I'm not sure if we would be able to talk about all the psychic powers, but
No, no, we don't need that.
yes.
It just pretty much we'll just go over the three mask things, and then we'll move
Okay,
on.
cool. And then yeah, well, what I like also for this light Sedat, bro, is their what do you call this one? Particular Sedat CP. Sorry, stratagem, which is called Capricious Reflection. For one CP, bro. For one CP, if your opponent try to charge you, then if the unit being charged is not within engagement range, you can move 6 inches away.
Mm.
So it would make your unit unchargeable. I'm not sure, of course, if like
It
not
can
unchargeable,
make it
but
unchargeable. Yeah.
yeah, but like you can just escape. So for one CP, bro, it's just like the I remember the Cerberus Traders Tactica Obliga. That one is 2 CP. This one is 1 CP.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so far that's my favorite to that. So I'm trying to build a list which is like following this light. Okay, so the next one, I think you like this one. So
I
this
like
is
this one.
this is called the Dark Sedak.
Yeah.
It's called the Dark Deeds. So each time a model with this characterization is destroyed by a melee attack, if that particular unit they haven't fought yet, then you can make a melee attack, meaning to say you can fight on that if you haven't fought yet.
Yeah.
And then each time a model with this characterization makes a melee attack, so increase the AP by one. So this one is heavily focused, I believe, of course, with a melee kind of build.
Yeah. Bike rush and transport heavy troops popping out is yeah. This one, I mean, I played against this a pretty oppressive, very bike heavy, troop heavy list, and we'll get into a little bit on bikes in a
Mm,
second, but
yes.
36-inch threat range on your bikes on certain missions, they are in your face turn one, and the fight on death thing and the extra AP, it's punishing.
Yes, and
Um,
like those things that fight first or fight last doesn't matter. If you
yeah.
destroy me, I would fight again. So I also have a chance to kill you.
So the play on this, which I think is just crazy, it's very much like what Sisters have with Repentia. So everyone was, when Repentia got their new rules and whatever, everyone was like, oh my god, they lost all these bits and pieces in terms of they can't fight twice, the stratagem. But
Hmm.
having fight on death means you go, well, I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
just going to send this into whatever because I'm just going to kill you. Like, fights last. Awesome. Do you know how annoying it is to have to build this day, currently now in 9th edition, whenever I write a list anyway, I go, where's my fights last? I
Yeah.
need to make sure at least I have a fights last in my army to try and mitigate my opponent, who will
Yes.
probably be taking in at least one or two bits of fights last. With these guys, I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't have
So
to waste the CP or you waste the relic or waste whatever else you have to try and gain that because you go, well, my whole army just fights on again.
yes.
So who cares? It's super strong.
Yes, yes, yes. And there said that what do you call this one? A stratagem is called Silken Knife. This is also just one CP. So you can use this stratagem at the start of your charge phase. Select one enemy unit, and until the end of the phase, each time the enemy unit is selected as the target of a charge by a dark unit, that enemy cannot fire Overwatch or set to defend. So this one is good when you are charging Tau.
Charging anyone.
Yeah.
Like especially like if you're building gun lines or you're building stuff to be anti-charging, you're taking into things like auto hitting flamers and stuff like that. And like at the end of the day, yes, Harleys have a 4-up invo, but they're still T3 squishy one win models, right? So
Yes.
things like mass way to fire bolters or flamers, with like neg 1, neg 2, to push them to the invo, because it's base save 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so as long you just need a neg 1 to push him to the invo anyway, right? Um, well, actually, it doesn't matter. You can just have AP dash. But point being is that mass firepower is the thing that you're going to want into this kind of thing, where they have a
Yes.
mitigation to that. And, anything that can turn off Overwatch,
It's,
it's a win in my book. And the fact that it's just a strat you can play whenever, it's awesome.
okay.
GSC have a similar thing with their Gene Stealers, and it's really good to have in your toolbox.
Okay, so before I go to the next one, I like light, you like dark. I'll also mention to you one of the relic that you can use when you're running dark. So the relic is called the Gold Mask. So one of the ability of that, if the bearer has the following ability, Hideous Form. While an enemy unit is within 3 of this model, that unit loses the objective secure. So that's
Yeah.
also very powerful.
Hmm.
Okay, so now we go to the Twilight. So it is the characterization Twilight Falls. So each time a unit with this characterization fights, if it made the charge, was charged, or performed heroic intervention, then until the fight is resolved, add one to the attack. So this one is, I think, the Frozen Stars before. And then the other one is each time a model with the characterization makes a pile in or consolidation move, sorry, it can move up to 2 additional. This one is
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Like they already moved a lot, then you
Yeah.
pile in 5 inches, and then you consolidate six. Sorry, another 5 inches more. So that's 10 inches, bro.
Yeah. So if
Crazy.
you if you if you're moving base 9, right?
Mm.
So you're moving
Yeah.
base 9. You have advance
So
and charge.
I'm not sure what's the movement of the troops. I think
I'm pretty.
they move
They
eight.
move 8. Okay, 8. Right.
They
So they
move
have
eight.
8 and they have advance and charge, right?
Yeah, they have so
Yeah. So you've got 8 to 14,
yes, correct, 14.
right, with an advance. And then you've got 12, which makes it 26. Then you've got 5-inch pile-in, so that makes it 31. Then another 5-inch consolidation. It's like 36 inches on a troop unit that
Bro,
can move through anything and move through models. Like,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
It
Especially, I think the power in Harleys is definitely in Dark, based on a whole lot of movement and combat stuff.
yes. So
Um,
imagine, bro, if your deployment is like a Dawn of War style. So from your deployment zone, I think even in turn one, you can
Now you know what?
already.
That's what's worse. The angle deployment mission. Oh, what's it
Oh
called?
yeah, that yeah.
The angle deployment mission, and then also the new sweep
The
and clear
part,
mission.
yeah.
Those are,
I think favorite of the
you
hobby.
have to deploy in the back far corner, and just hope you've got a good screen to be able to
Mhm.
try and gun. Otherwise, you're just going to be wrapped turn one. Like
Yeah,
literally wrapped turn one. Like your every unit of yours would be absolutely surrounded. It's
crazy.
good. I like it. I love it, man. It's like it's the way I like to play. It's super aggressive. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's
I'm
also one of your play style. Apart from being a melee boy, you like like just pushing, pushing, pushing forward.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm all Camp Dark. And I've been bad touched by it, so like I know what it's like to receive it. So I'm like, hell yeah, I want to do that to other people.
Yeah, you're doing that to my admin. That's why I'm always just happy if I would get the first turn, and then I would just try to shoot your Dimaker on first turn.
Yeah, but that's Tyranids. We're talking about Harlequins, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay,
All right. So Twilight.
but yes, that's Twilight, and that's the three that. So yeah, as I've said, you only have three particular sub faction that you can choose. So
Yep.
it's very easy, whatever you like. If you like, like I want to be transhuman, I want to be safe first when somebody shoot me, or I want to do the fighting things, or you want to really murder people with +1 additional attack, then you can choose Twilight. And if you want to fight on that, of course, you can choose Dark.
the the thing that I know, and I know this would be absolutely busted, but I kind of look at this going, I really wish that. I mean, this is purely just from a gameplay point of view. It's got nothing to do with lore or anything, because if I know it doesn't fit the way that masks are and stuff in the lore are kind of like a troop sort of
Mhm.
indoctrinated thing that you follow and yada yada yada. But if you could switch them, kind of like Tao's got Monkar and like all these other bit, and then like GK has tides and all that stuff. Like imagine you could start in light and then move to dark, and then
Oh my god, that would
that'd be
that would
broken.
be
I know it'd be
yeah,
broken, but I'm just like
would
that
be
would be cool. It'd be
that,
really cool.
of course I would want that, but I don't think that we would be able to get that.
No, but yeah, I mean overall, man, you're kind of you'll be obviously you're pumped about the book again, right? Because
Yeah,
you've gotten. I mean, it's good. You think it's good? You like it?
I like it. Do you want me
That's it.
to tell you some of the warrior traits before we go on to some specific units?
I reckon we'll do warlord traits and one specific unit, and I think the specific unit might be the same unit. We're going to talk about the
Okay,
same unit.
yeah. Probably we will talk about which one? Just the troops and the Skyweavers, or what?
Oh, I was going to say the Voidweavers, but yeah.
The Void Weavers. Okay, we can talk about the Void Weavers because, of course, they are, like not popular last edition, but now
Mm.
they would be. Maybe we can insert the Skyweaver because I like the Skyweaver more this time because one of their weapon, which is the Star Bolus, changed from a grenade to an assault, so it's also pretty good.
Mm. And they're all permanent -1 to hit, right? The
Yes.
bikes,
Yep.
even in ranged.
Okay, so
um,
I'll give you the warrior traits.
yeah. So the first warlord trait I reckon that is baller. Just quickly, the one that I do remember because I don't have the book in front of me, is which again was used against me, so that's why I know it. Is actually this might be a relic. I'm not sure. The neg 1 to hit aura, the neg 1 to wound aura.
No, no, that's I think it's a what do you call this one? I think that is the. Give me a second. That
It's
is
it's the relic. It's a relic or wallet
I
trait,
think so.
isn't it?
I think it's a relic or a what do you call this one? The pivotal
Sha-
role or of something. Because if you have a what do you call this one? Yeah, I think it's a relic, bro. If you have the shadows here and you
Shadow
use it
Seer.
for
Yes, a Shadow
pivotal
Seer relic.
relic, you can nominate or maybe an aura.
No,
Would
it's an
you?
aura of 6 inches. It's a
Then
6 inch neg,
yeah.
1 to wound aura.
Well, then yeah, that's an aura. Before I believe that's the shadow something because I told you the thing here. Wait, because yes,
All
I
right.
think. I'm sorry, bro, because I told you the book is like literally everything. I did not mark that particular one, so
All right. Well, you go your ones. You go your ones, and I'll find the one I'm talking about.
okay. So I'll let you know first all the Harlequin warrior traits that I can see here. There are three. Number one is favor of Sagorak. So once per turn, when you make a hit roll, wound roll, or saving throw for this warlord, after making the roll, you can treat the result as a modified roll of 6 instead. So it's like, if you really want this particular warlord alive, then okay, you failed your save, change it to 6. So of course, you already have your rerolls. We did not talk about the luck of the laughing god. Uh,
Oh, that's the luck dice. Oh my god, how do we miss that? No, no, we need to do that. We're just gonna do luck dice, and then we're gonna talk about a data sheet. We're gonna miss everything because otherwise we're running out of time. So
okay,
you
so
explain. Luck dice are awesome. I love luck dice, and I hate them
yes.
as well, but I love them because they're just stupid and cool.
Okay, so apart, of course, if you want to do your reroll, you have your CP. For this particular one, right, is if you run just a Harlequins one, then at the start of every battle round, bro, you have a minimum of three Luck of the Laughing God reroll dice. So you can only use that one for hit roll, wound roll, and
Damage roll,
saving
right?
throw, and no.
No, no, you can't
Damage,
use damage.
hit,
No, no, yeah,
damage, sorry, hit, wound, saving, and charge. Only for this four. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
And apart from that, if you want to like gamble, you can roll up to 6d6 dice. And then if you get all unique numbers, then you add that to your tree. So basically, of course, you wouldn't be rolling six because there's a chance that you would have, like a doubles or even a
yeah,
triples. So of course, if you want to really play it safe, then just roll one. So every turn you only have four. This one you need to use every round because it cannot be like, okay, I'll save all these rerolls and then I would use that on the fourth, fifth. No. So
yeah. They're not. It's not like miracle dice where you can stockpile them. It goes
yes.
at the end of every battle
Yes.
round.
So, but I reckon you can use two or three. Then I'm not sure what are the averages, but yeah, maybe
I
two
think
would
two.
be
I think two's the optimum, right? So basically, you at the start of each battle round, you grab between 1 and 3 dice, and then you can choose them, and then you roll them, and if they're all different numbers, then you get to use three. It's essentially
extra.
three. If you do it with 3 dice and you roll a 1, 2, and a 3, that is 3 extra CP for that turn.
Yes. So
That's
that's no,
literally
that's
that's
actually
literally what it's doing.
six. That's actually six, bro, because you already have a minimum of three, right?
I always thought it was that you still had to do those three.
No, bro. Lack of the laughing god, right? As I've said, you already have minimum of three. Now, if you want to gamble, you can roll up to 6d6. So that's why I said if you just want to be sure, roll one, then you would always have
So every
four.
turn you can have 5. Like if you
Every
were to
turn
pick
you
two
have four.
dice and you get them, you get 5.
Yes.
That's nuts. That's
That
even
is not
worse.
so just imagine, bro. Just imagine minimum of four rerolls per round. That's
Yeah.
20 CP rerolls in the whole game. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's not. It's
CP free
so
for
good
free.
for free. Yeah, it's for
It's
nothing.
for
And then,
free.
but the thing is, obviously, if you roll the 3 dice and you have like a 1 and 2 4s, you don't get anything, right?
Yeah,
So
of
that's the
course you
point.
don't.
Like
You
then
don't.
you just get the year zero. So yeah, realistically, you roll one to guarantee yourself 4 every turn. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's awesome.
Cool. So let's just talk about some of the units. There's a lot of good strats and even the warrior traits or even the pivotal roles. We can talk about that next time once probably we are already playing the army itself. But yeah, let's go first with your Voidweaver, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so Voidweaver is your heavy support now, right? So it's a what do you call this one? Uh, 6 wound, strength 5, toughness 5 vehicle. So of course they are also 4 plus invuln save. And then if it advances, you just don't need to roll, just add 6. So minimum you
Hmm.
would always be moving 22 inches. And then each time an attack is made against this unit, so they are -1 to hit, and then the attacks, the hit roll and that attacks hit roll cannot be rolled. So no rerolls for them when you're shooting them. And then one of the good weapon now is called the Prismatic Cannon. So you have two profile for this one, the focus and then the disperse. That's why this is now very good, bro. Because of course, if you want to be, like anti-tank or those extra anti-elites, you can choose. So
Yep.
for the focus lance, 36 inches, heavy 2, strength 12, -4, 2d3. Of course, I'm a bit disappointed about 2d3. Should be d3 plus 3, but d3 2d3 is fine, I reckon, because this is just what 90 points vehicle.
Yeah.
And then the dispersed one is the same 36 inches, but this time it's a heavy 3d3 blast. So as I've said, these are your anti infantry or those even elites. It's just strength 5, -3 AP and 1 damage. So pretty good. So I reckon you would be seeing minimum of maybe 3 void
3.
weavers every
Yeah.
time you would face a Harlequin army.
And it's just nuts as well because they're a transport too. And
Yeah.
this is just
So
the benefit of Eldari. Like it's kind of very similar to the whole Darklands thing with raiders, but they're easier to hide and they can zip and move and they can still they're just cool. I reckon they're cool. It's good to see that they're actually finally potentially going to be able to be taken because their gun is relevant.
yes, because yeah, you really need some powerful guns now, right? So it's part of the meta. You need to have something that is very good in terms of anti-tank.
Yeah,
Okay, and
that's
then the
good.
last one, if
Yeah.
you want, the Sky Weavers, right? So basically, they still retain most of their abilities, but some of the weapon profile changes. But okay, first thing first, they are the only core in the in their particular army. So which I believe is wrong. I believe troops would also get their core. So let's see when the FAQ would be coming. So for this particular one, bro, the same. They are also 4 plus invo, and then they are -1 to hit in their melee, and then the same. So each time an attack is made against this unit, no reroll as well, which is very good again. And then the same if you advance, so don't need to roll, just add 6. So again, minimum of 22 inches movement. So the thing that I wanted to share is the star bolas. Before, as I've said, it's a grenade. Now it's a 12 inches assault D3 blast. 7 strength, bro. Strength 7, -3 AP, 2 damage. So this one is also very good with those, like heavy infantry list or maybe those elites because strength 7, bro. Strength 7.
Strength 7 is good. It's a good breakpoint. Like, I mean, I always try and look at things that are above strength 6, and that's one of the
Mm,
reasons why I like playing Tyranid so much is just really high strength, high damage firepower. Where you know that if you're investing in it, you're probably killing,
mm.
1, 2, 3 of whatever it is that you're trying to kill, which is good.
Yes, my previous
Um,
Harlequin bikes, all of them are running star bolas, and I've told you right, I don't like the loadout before, so I sold
mm,
them. But now I want them.
yeah, next time listen to Lucky when he tells you hold on to things.
Yes, you are the lucky
I
laughing guy.
told you, I'm like, keep them, bro. Don't throw it away.
Yeah, it's
That's
already a year's or so.
ah,
So
hindsight, right?
yes, finish
But
five.
look, the we're not going to go obviously full depth into an analysis.
Yes,
That'll be coming at some point. We'll probably break it up as well and do like the Craft World and the Inari, then the Harlequins. But I mean, Harlequins are the only Eldar that I actually like. I love it. I'm super biased about it.
yes. Sorry,
It's
Charlie.
powerful. Yeah. And sorry, all you Craft World players out there, but unfortunately, I think the Harlequins are the best part of this book.
Yes.
Um, as it should be, they hold the key to literally the universe's knowledge anyway in the Black Library, so it makes sense.
Mm.
We'll just have a quick break and we'll hear from Tim and from Dice Arcade, and then we'll be back to talk Nids.
Laters.
dicearcade.com.au. All the biggest brands of miniatures and wargaming, free postage over $250.
All right, thanks Tim for those awesome words. Be sure to hit Dice Arcade up for all your hobby needs, everyone. So, I know we did say we were going to talk about Tau, but we actually talked about Aeldari, Harlequins, whatever, for quite a while. So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to talk about quickly how, I feel like now this year, G-Dub has kind of started to put the foot down on, or the gas pedal on, the accelerator on, from wherever you're coming from, and really powering through with these releases. And I think it's great.
Yes.
I really hope they can stick to this. I hope that they can keep to this one codex a month thing. I'm really excited for the Chaos players. I was a bit, I was a bit my confidence was a little bit shattered when I saw today they released something to do with potential Space Marines. However, I do think that is to do with animations and stuff. I'm hoping that's to do with the Astartes and not models and 2.0, because it'll be such salt in the wound if after Nids the Space Marine 2.0 Codex comes out and Chaos don't even get anything.
No.
I don't know if that's the case, but anyway. So yeah, the Nid book is coming, and obviously, I mean, I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk about it. Like, look,
Are you excited?
I'm pumped, bro. I mean, look,
Of course you are.
I don't get excited about things until I see them. You know what I mean? Like until
Yeah,
you have
until the
it, like
announcement, or
because
until the announcement of the Codex release. Yes.
no, I mean the rules, right? Because
Oh,
you can go,
until
oh, this is gonna be great, this is gonna be great, and the rumors are flat out. Like some of the rumors have been pretty ridiculous. So I was like, okay, and I'll talk about a few of them in a second, but until you see it, you just don't know. It's like the same thing, like all the releases and everything that were coming out with the Eldar. I was like, man, this is going to be stupid. This is going to be stupid. And Games Workshop just did it with their sort of marketing, and marketed in a way where they didn't tell you that a battle focus move. If you move through terrain, it minuses 3 from the dice.
Mm.
So you're like, okay, well, that makes that nowhere near as powerful as what was originally, pitched. So, I'm basically I'm not holding my breath, and I'm taking everything that they release with a
I
grain of
think
salt.
they would be fine, bro.
Well, the only thing that's I guess giving me confidence with the releases is the datasheet releases for some of the stuff that the Nids are getting is ridiculously strong.
Mm.
Like the Exocrine data profile now and the Hive Tyrant stuff is really, really nuts. All those big T8 bodies going to 2-up saves, and everything's like flat 3 or flat 4 damage. Everything's neg 4, and it's just super killy, which is great. That's where I like it. It's not that Exocrines already, as they are super powerful. You saw what they were like recently, So anyway, so they've come out with this new model, if you haven't seen it, which, if you're a long-term Tyranid fan, you'll know it's been in the lore for a very, very long time. I think it was a second edition story in the story in the second edition Codex, and it has there's a huge cult following, and a lot of people have done conversions for this model and stuff. And I think overall, the model is actually pretty cool. If anything, I'm potentially looking at like stealing those wings for a Hive Tyrant conversion and other bits and pieces and whatever. But on face value, so it has some rules. They've released the stat line,
Okay.
a weapon, a rule for that weapon, and one single, I guess, sub rule.
Okay.
So the data sheet is okay. As Tyranids go, it's not bad. So it moves 16. It's weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, strength 5, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 6 attacks, 8 leadership, 4 save. Yeah.
What's
So
what do you call this one? What's its role? Is it fast
so we
attack?
don't know. It's a synapse creature, but we don't know what slot it's in. So I'm assuming it's either going to be a fast attack choice or a HQ choice.
Oh, okay.
But it's weird because it has a ballistic skill of 3, but they don't list a ranged weapon, right? So considering that a lot of Tyranid stuff's base 4 or has been base 4, you're like, okay. Normally, what they do when they're riding like a melee unit is they'll like they have with other Tyranid models and other models in general is they'll the ballistic skill will be like a 6, because it doesn't matter, right? Because it's got it's like a tank, right? A tank doesn't need it.
Mm.
So that automatically just goes, okay, there's probably a weapon that it does have that they're not showing because they only show you part of the data sheet. And that's fine, whatever, it is what it is. And this is kind of the evidence as to why I'm not kind of going, oh, this is great or this is not great, right? Because we don't have the full picture. There's no invulnerable save listed, which is also a big concern. 4-up save, that, might as well just die with 6 wounds, literally.
Yes.
But the 16-inch movement, that gives me joy.
Yes.
I'm like, cool, if and I'll go into why also this later. So the weapon is a barbed ovipositor, which is really cool. It's a melee. It's +1 strength, -1 AP, 1 damage, whatever.
Okay.
So it's strength 6, -1, 1 damage. But that doesn't really excite anything. But it has an ability called Parasite Infection. Each time the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon, and no more than 1 attack can be made with this weapon while resolving the fight. Right. So the Parasitic Infection rule states each time an attack made with this weapon successfully wounds an enemy. Now this is successfully wounds. Doesn't mean successful damage. Just if you just make a wound roll,
yes.
excluding vehicles, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage and becomes infected with parasites. At the start of your opponent's command phase, for each enemy unit that is infected with parasites, your opponent must roll 1d6. On a 1 to 3, they suffer D3 mortal wounds and is no longer infected with parasites. On a 4 to 6, that unit being rolled for suffers D3 mortal wounds and remains infected. Now, if that unit suffers 2 or more mortal wounds as a result of this ability this phase, and that's annoying that it says this phase, not whatever, set up a new friendly Hive Fleet Ripper Swarm unit on the battlefield within 3 inches of that unit and not within engagement range of any other units. That Ripper Swarm unit contains 1 model. If you are playing the game that uses points limit, this does not count for reinforcement points. Okay, and then the final thing is, the rule is it itches while a unit is infected, they lose obsec.
What?
So, yeah, so there's a lot of cool things in this that I go, right, if a few other things kind of happen to exist where you can build it into it, this thing can be really annoying.
Yes. I think then it should be probably an HQ or maybe an elites unit. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, look, the Dimachairon's in a fast attack choice, right? So Tyranids kind of don't really follow the structure of kind of other armies in that regard because they can have sort of... But the only reason why I think this is a HQ choice is because 1, it's a synapse creature, and 2, it's a named thing that's existed in the lore. Mind you, they can make multiple of them, like as Tyranid lore is, but
so if you make them multiple, then multiple headaches as well.
So the thing I look at this, I go, all right, it's annoying that you can only make 1 attack with this thing. So if you fail your 1 wound roll, and it's strength 6, right? So it's failable. Not into much, but it's still failable. I live for rolling 1s and 2s, so I'd probably fail this every time. And then relying on your opponent to roll the d6, I think is just annoying. Anyway,
but I mean, you already gave them the parasitic whatever, so let them roll.
So the thing that, if you can give this thing fallback and charge in whatever way that the new book has, this thing will be annoying. And if you can give it like a -1 to wound or an invo, because the way I see this is basically not worrying about the damage.
Yes.
Flying, charging something with your 16-inch and potentially like a advance and charge power if we keep onslaught, and then if it has fallback and charge as well, charging into a unit, removing the obsec, next turn, moving over, flying to another unit, or dual charging, right? So charge with, say, a Hive Tyrant, or with something else that is, used to tank the melee or tank whatever. Fly in, do the thing, remove the obsec of that one, then zip over, charge somewhere else, zip over, charge somewhere else, and literally just fly across stuff and just be like pop, 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 remove obsec, remove obsec, remove obsec. I think it could be clutch, but it's really hard to say because you just don't know the full picture, right?
Yes, correct. So until you see the first, of course, what kind of role is he playing, then you would be able to know, okay, This is where I
Yeah.
should position him. Then blah 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 blah.
The other thing is that the Ripper thing is cool. I think that has, again, it all depends on how easy this thing is to activate. If this
Yes.
thing can activate with ease, this can be really, really annoying. Where if you can have spore mines, if spore mines are going to function the same way they have, or more or less similarly like they have in the current edition and previous editions, you are going to be able to potentially create some really annoying board control things,
Yes.
like move block people everywhere,
Mm.
with like bases and little things that are just obnoxious and annoying that people will be forced to put themselves out to get to where they need to get to. Not massively, obviously, because it's a single unit. I mean, if it popped like 3 or whatever, it'd be crazy. But like I said, there may be something in this that like I said, it's probably maybe there's a potential way for you to, there's a ranged weapon and then there's a strat that you can use, like, well, you can pop Parasitic Infection with the
Yes.
ranged weapon it has if you spend 1 CP or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely a ranged weapon that this thing has, because I don't believe it would have a ballistic skill of 3+ if it didn't have one.
Mm.
Yeah. So look, I guess the whole point of us talking about this now is, I think that from a lot of stuff that I've seen people going, oh, that's a shit model, or oh, that's not competitive, or this, that's like,
Nah.
we've seen with how Games Workshop gives out its information deliberately in a 100% a designed way.
Yes. So
Just take it as it is for now,
yes.
and
At
look at
least
it.
we have something, right?
Yeah, and be as be hopeful but pessimistic, right? So be hopeful it's going to be great, but at the same time expect it's going to suck, right? I think that's just the best way to handle it, and that in that way you're not feeling bad. You'll only be
Yeah.
feeling good, because if it's good, it's great, and then otherwise you're like, well, that's what I expected.
Yes, that's true.
And then the other thing is, there is a caveat here, and this is kind of gives me also a little bit of, I kind of fall into the hoping too much vibe a little bit. So at the end, it says you'll soon be able to add a Parasite of Mortex. It says a Parasite of Mortex, which is interesting, to your flying broods of winged hive tyrants, gargoyles, hive crones, and harpies. Whatever. So there has been a current rumor with the new Tyranid Codex, that if you take a winged hive tyrant, gargoyles will become troops choices as an option. Now, if this is true, this is a system, a mechanic that I will be very, very pleased if they bring in, because which I think they should be for all armies, that if you take certain things, it alters other aspects of your army, right? Like if you were, say, for example, I mean, this is a very stupid example, right? But this is just one off the top of my head right now. Like if you were to take a Terminator captain for whatever reason, you could make like a Terminator unit obsec or something like, like similar kind of thing. Just the structure of your army is dictated by the kind of detachment or the kind of person or whatever it is that is kind of leading it or involved with it. Now that's a rumor. I don't know if that's legit. But now also with confirmed through a leaked data sheet that the Flesh Borer is going to 18-inch range, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Right? Which is good, from 12 inches, strength 4 dash 1 damage is insanely higher. But the fact that also, if they're a troops unit, a Harridan can hold, I think, 60 of them or 40 of them glued to its belly.
Oh my god!
So you can have potentially, this is potential, right? Everyone, I don't know, but I'm thinking, hey, winged hive tyrant, great, that's all fun. Now I've got my Harridan that's flying around the board and dropping like units of 10 obsec gargoyles with 12-inch movement and a decent anti-infantry firepower gun, can just be everywhere.
That's
like
cool.
I like the concept of literally building a entire flying Tyranid army.
Yes, that's cool.
It's so cool. I mean, competitive aside, right? Like just for fun.
Yes.
Like winged hive tyrant, Harridan, gargoyles, and harpies. Like, oh man, that just sounds so awesome.
But
And yeah,
let's wait and see.
yeah,
Your Codex is coming soon. I'm so jealous.
What do you mean you're jealous? You play AdMech and you're playing Harleys now. What are you going to be jealous about?
Oh, wait for
Knights.
the Nids.
Well, look, I think we might have to save the Knight one for the next one, but
Yes.
Knight speculation next one. So look, I mean, I'm probably going to be inserting every little bit of Tyranid rumor into every ep moving forward over the coming weeks because we're going to be probably getting. I'm assuming we're going to be getting something tomorrow as well. At time of recording, irrelevant to all of you beautiful listeners, but yeah, so we will be getting stuff soon, and I will be, as it gets more and more, I'll be talking about it either probably very biasedly saying it's stupidly awesome and busted because I want it to be stupidly awesome and busted.
Yeah.
So people can complain at me.
Yeah, I mean, we have all our favorite armies, so we can be as biased as we want.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we'll leave it there, everybody.
Yes.
We will talk about Knights next week. All right, so we are talking about some interesting stuff next week too. Some big announcements next week.
Cool.
So for all of you lovely listeners, stay tuned for that one. You'll want to get in on that potentially straight away when it comes out. Thank you all for listening. Big thanks to all our sponsors and affiliated parties. We will be pushing as much content as we can coming out of our little COVID situation. But stay with us. We love you. You love us. We love Harlequins. Go Knights. And see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.